Okay, welcome to your first lesson in processing. I'm just here to lead you through a few things that you need to know and some of the details that will come with learning processing. So the first thing is this document. It's got some resources for you. We are on lesson 2, so you've probably clicked on this link here to get this video of me, but you also need to click on this link here to take you to the processing website. This will be the information you need for your first program. You also need to download processing. So for us, it's on self-service. It's this little icon at the bottom here. Once you've downloaded it, you'll get a screen that looks like this. Okay, I'm going to split it into 2 screens. So my face is going to disappear, but I'm going to talk through some of the code and things that we can work with here. So to make it a split screen, if you click the full screen button here, you can make the processing window the right side and the web page the left side, which it will do now, and my face will disappear, which is fine. Right, on the right we have the processing window. This is the canvas, he calls it. Yeah. So if you start up, there's nothing here, but I've typed size. So we always need to declare the size of the screen that we're going to be dealing with. In this case, it's going to be 500 pixels wide and 400 pixels down. And if I click play, it'll kick me out of the split screen. Maybe you can see my face again. And there you go. There's a window, 500 pixels wide and 400 pixels down. Okay. If I go back, then we're going to look through some of the first code that they've got here. It says your first program. You can draw an ellipse. You should have learned that already from the last tutorial video. But if we copy this code here, void setup, and all the way down to there, straight into here, I'll delete this last line that I made. We've got a few interesting things happening. Let's click play first and see what happens. It's going to create a window of a certain size that we defined at the start, and anywhere I move the mouse, it's going to give me a circle or an ellipse. So looks cool. It's just kind of repeating. It's making this like weird kind of snake pattern. But if I click the mouse, then it changes to black. And if I let go of the mouse, it goes back to white. And it does that for however long I'm holding the click down. So right now I'm holding the click down. I can black out the screen, and then I can go back to drawing my white circles. And it's just capturing a frame every millisecond or something, so that the faster I move the mouse, the further apart the circles look. Okay, but if we go back to the code, let's see what's actually happening here. So it made a window 480 by 120. So I didn't really like how narrow it was, so I'm going to change it to maybe 600 and 800. Okay, then it's going to do that right at the setup at the start. So it's going to set that window, and it's always going to maintain that window size from the start of the program. Then it says to draw. So it's going to repeatedly draw and draw and draw if we've got these things happening here. So if the mouse is pressed, the color is going to be 0. Okay, you should have learned what 0 is. Okay, 0 is black. And if the mouse is not pressed, basically, if it's the opposite, so if you have anything else happening other than the mouse being pressed, so which would be not pressed, then you're going to make it white. 255 is the other end of the spectrum. We go from 0 to 255 in terms of colors. And then we're going to draw an ellipse at the location of the mouse x and y coordinates, and the size of the circle will be 80 and 80. Okay, so you could mess around with some of these numbers to change the colors, maybe change the location, maybe change the size of the circle or the size of your drawing, but that's the basics for now. Okay, let's test this one out and see how it looks. It's just going to be a bigger version, so it looks a bit cooler. Same, if we click, it goes black, and then yeah, just have a bigger area to work with. Okay, so you could take a screenshot of this. That would be one way to share your information with me, or on your portfolio, for example. Another way to share it is to save it. Okay, I'm going to have to get out of this window quickly here. So in processing, we can save our work, just like a normal Google Doc or anything like that. So if you click save, it'll let you rename the sketch and it'll save it in the processing folder in your computer. Okay, you can change that folder to be the desktop if you want, and I would suggest setting up a folder on your computer that says processing, and you can save all of your programs and stuff there. Because in a second, I'm going to show you here actually. So you can export an application. So just like, I have to save it first. Okay, so let's save. I'll save it to my desktop for now. Okay, I just didn't even rename it, but that's fine. And if I export the application, I can choose where I want to be able to use it. So for us, it's going to be a Mac. Embed Java, that's fine. We'll click export, and it's probably going to do it. Okay, so I think it's done it in the processing folder, but that's fine. I'll put this on the desktop. You should put this in a folder if you've got a folder made on your desktop. And if I double click this, it's just gonna open the sketch. So it's not gonna open processing. It's just a single use application, like a folder, or like a file you would open on your computer. Okay, so that's kind of cool because you could take a screenshot or a screencast of this, and you could record a video and share that with people, or during your portfolio explanation time, you could just open up all of these files that you've got on your computer, and you could show people how each program works and how you kind of progress that way. So that's why I want you to make a folder on your desktop to show all of these files. Okay, so I'll quickly show you how to do that again. First, you'd save it, and then you would export. Okay, and you export it to a location on your desktop or a folder that you've got made. Okay, so that's one program that you can make very easily and very quickly using the reference from this website. Okay, one other thing, sharing. Oh yeah, in the processing environment here, there are lots and lots of examples. If you go to File and Examples, you will see tons of options, and you can just click through and look. Oh, what's this? Relativity. Never seen it. I don't even know what it's about. But if we click it and we click play, it's going to do something pretty crazy, but I don't know how they made that happen. So let's have a look. It explains, it gives you some example code, and you could work through looking at how they made that particular program. You could make changes, you could hack it if you want, whatever. It's kind of like learning by seeing what other people have done, which is good. But that's just a reference for you. And then one other thing is on the document in Google Classroom. Sorry. Okay, I've added another thing here called the processing reference. And if you click on that, it takes you to a page with all of these different words, I guess. So these are the coding language pieces that you can put into processing. So we've already learned a bit about rectangle and ellipse, but what about arc and circle and quad and triangle and things like that? Or what about different ways of writing colors or 3D things? Okay, so all these are options of things you can type into processing, and if you click on that, it gives you ways to draw it, any information that's appropriate, how the numbers work that are in here, and so on. Okay, so main things for today is downloading processing, trying your first program and changing it, saving it, exporting, and looking through the reference. Okay, thank you very much.